Luke mentioned the other day about how it's the best way to get rust off of stuff. And I told him vinegar, get some white vinegar and soak it. So I'm going to try this on this toolbox here. Somebody gave me that toolbox. It's one of them old-fashioned toy toolboxes like you used to get for Christmas. You use a little kid that have a little tool set in it. Well, I like to soak that in vinegar, but I don't really have a container big enough to put it in. So I think what I'm going to do is I got 3 garbage bags here. I'm going to take these 3 garbage bags. I'm going to drop it down in there. And I'm going to open the lid a little bit. I'm going to pour a bunch of vinegar down in the bag. And then just leave it in there and shake it around and let the vinegar get it in and around it. And then come back and check on it every day or so, or maybe tomorrow, and see what I find. Put that up here. I'll go get that vinegar. Put it down there on that. I got a bunch of this high performance white vinegar here. And I'm just going to pour a bunch of it over in there on top of this. Okay. We're going to let her soak. That's probably about half a pint. This is that high performance vinegar too. Get it down in there good, get it all over it, get it all around on it. Smells pretty strong, it does. And I'm just going to set it over here somewhere and leave it be. And then I'm going to come back and we're going to look at it tomorrow or so. It's over there. Well, I don't know where it's at next time. Then I'll go back in yonder and check on Honeybee and see what she's up to. Oh boy. So when last I seen y'all, I think I was taking this old toolbox and sitting it inside of a bag, and I poured a bunch of vinegar in it. My thinking being that, you know, you can soak. Ooh, boy, that's strong smelling stuff right there. You can soak metal in vinegar and it'll kind of eat the rust off of it. And it looks to me like it's got a pretty good soaking. I mean, it's pretty wet with vinegar. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this inside and I'm going to take a shower with it. I know that sounds a little weird, but one of the things you do is you rinse the vinegar off. Well, you can't, to rinse the vinegar off out here. I need a water hose or a bucket or something, but I should be able to smell it pretty strong. That's a pretty strong vinegar. I bought the good industrial strength vinegar because I was mixing up. You can use vinegar for plant like weed control or something like that, and mix it with some Dawn dishwashing detergent and some other stuff. So I had bought me some of that high-powered extra strength heavy-duty vinegar for that purpose. So what I'm going to do is just take this whole bag in the house there, put this over in the shower, take a shower with it, rinse it all down, and then bring it back out. I'll put my clothes back on before I come back out. That way I can see what it looks like. See if that did any good, if I got enough vinegar on there. In fact, what I think I'll do is leave the bag out here, and I'll just pull the toolbox out, and I've got me a towel out here. I'll just wrap the toolbox in the towel and take that in the house. I wonder how it would work if you just tried rubbing it off with the towel. I guess the showering would be better, but I do see stuff happening here. Okay. Pretty smelly. So I'm just going to take that in the house with me. And like I said, put it right in the shower. And I'll be back. Okay then. Be fresh out of the shower. And one of the reasons this came up, Luke asked me if there was a way to remove rust, and I said vinegar, and he said, is there a way to remove rust and old paint without disturbing rust and new paint without disturbing the old paint? And that starts getting a little bit more harder to describe. So what I'm going to do is just show you. I just got out of the shower with this toolbox that I had soaking in a bag of vinegar. Now what I want you to see is here's the front of the toolbox. And I believe I had made a video with this earlier. And you'll notice this rust is gone. The old paint, although chipped in places, is mostly still there. Now back here along this edge, this may have gotten a good bit of vinegar on it because this rust is gone, but this rust over here isn't. Back here on the back, almost all the rust is gone. Inside of here, this had a yellowish kind of finish on the inside with rust. I was wondering if that yellowish finish, you can see a little bit of it up in here. I wondered if that was like varnish inside that box. But it did take away the rust. There are places where it could take away some more. Probably if I had this in a place where I could soak it better, like a big plastic bucket I could put this down into and get it submerged, it would probably do more. And I may look for such a thing. I don't want to use up a whole gallon or 2 or 3. Like if I tried to put it in a 5-gallon bucket, that'd be 5 gallons of vinegar. I don't really want to do that. But if I had a big flat plastic tray that I could sit that over into, then I could kind of get this back side down into that, and then I could pour some vinegar inside of it. I'll look around and see what I can got. But either way, Luke, the answer is, I don't know. And I think what he wanted to do was to see if he could get old paint off of. See, this truck has a little bit of old paint here, and it had an old cab that someone had spray painted with some black paint. And I think he might have been wondering if he could get that black paint off of there and get back to the original surface, and I don't know. I think possibly, depending on the kind of paint they used, it might be so, but it's hard to tell. And on this truck, see, I think what he wants is to take the rust off here, but keep the sign, which I totally agree. That'd be a cool thing if we can do it. This part here where there's a little sprayed on paint, I don't know if it's going to take that off or not. And stuff like, see how this cab's got a lot of rust, but you know, if you might could preserve the old paint on this and on this and just soak that in some vinegar. It might be something that I want to invest in some kind of a big tray or something that I could fit that down into. And I'll spend a little time looking around just to see what I could find. I'll take some measurements and all. But I have a plan for this box, but I can't tell you what it is because it's top secret. But there's something I want to do with this box. So that's one of the reasons why I'm kind of messing around with it, trying to see how much of the rust and all I can get off of it. So I'll come back to that at a later date. We'll discuss that further, or we may not. It might be that it gets into the realm of top secretness to the point where I can't discuss it with you. Having said that, though, at least you got to talk to me while I wasn't in the shower. The other thing is I did find my Confederate flags to put on the Jeep. Now, I just want to say something about that. Georgia's state flag, was the Confederate flag for all of my life until some time ago. A bunch of people came along and they said they was offended by that, so they changed the flag. To me, the Georgia state flag is still the Confederate flag with some, you know, the Confederate flag had an emblem next to it. It's like a seal on a blue background with the Confederate flag next to it. Alabama flag, Mississippi flag, all them flags used to be that way. If I put that flag on this Jeep up here, there's a good chance somebody would break my window because we got people that are so,
excitable about things like that, that they'll do nasty things to you because they don't like you nowadays. But down in Georgia, if you got a Confederate flag on your vehicle, that just kind of means you're one of us. So I'm thinking, of putting that flag on this Jeep, and I'm also thinking not do it yet. Wait till I drive down there because I don't want somebody to break my windows out because they don't like my background, my southernness or whatever. So anyway, I just thought I'd mention that. Okay. I am mostly staying inside today because it's tax time for me, and I got a lot of little pieces of paper to sort through, try to figure out what to do, what I can claim, what I can't claim, whether or not I'm going to be able to wind up not giving all of my money to Uncle Sam this year, and how that's going to play out. So I'll probably go back inside and do some more of that, and see if I can, just for now, maybe I can stick this stick this toolbox back in this bag, and just have it soak some more. I'll figure out where to go next with it. Oh, the joy. Oh, the joy. Alright, I'm going to set that over there for now. So I'll be back. I'll talk to y'all later sometime soon.